stumbled on this photograph. It kinda made me laugh. It took me way back down memory lane.
Sacked in the morning. Sacked in the morning. You're getting sacked in the morning. Sacked in the morning.
And there it is, folks, 2009, Mike Porky-Parry. I'm not sure who Spurs were playing, but it's on YouTube. In fact, I've put the link out already on the Two Mike's Twitter, should you wish to look at it.
Embarrass me again.
It shows you hurling your leg over the balustrade.
Yeah,
to
but
try and sort of,
I've explained this to you before.
I know you have.
There's no such thing as what happened was, the part of the stadium we were in there,
I presume it was a Spurs-Everton game, was it?
Yeah, it was a Spurs-Everton game. It was a midweek game, and the box we were in, and I very grateful to the guests, to our hosts.
Have they ever asked you back, those people?
Yeah. Went back the following year, and they had a huge newspaper report of what happened the previous year on the frame on the wall there. But, no, all that happened was, after we'd had some dinner, we went out onto the balcony, and a few fans shouted at me that I was very fat. Is that what you call porky, you know? Yeah. And
quite disruptive to the game in general.
But the fans below, it's where the shelf used to be, I think, at Tottenham, which is a legendary part of the terracing. You know what I mean? Converted now to seats, obviously.
Yeah.
So the boxes and the terrace bit met very closely together. And when they started insulting me, telling me I was very fat and all that, all I did was lift my shirt up to reveal my rippling
how
figure.
Fat you actually really were.
My rippling figure. And
it was certainly rippling.
That caused a bit of mirth, and then
did they not make some remark about, I can't really say this because it's a time of day and we don't want to be off
okay.
as a result. No, please don't say it because we'll be told not to.
Well, I have to explain the actions of what happened.
Describe it in a way without saying it.
One fan shouted, "Hey, Porky, Alan Brazil says you've never," and then used an expression to indicate relationships with women.
Yes.
So I said, "Oh, really? You want to see me do that?"
Yeah.
So I swung my leg over the
very well done.
You know, the edge of the box, if you see what I mean.
Yes.
And
they got the idea, but that was when they started chanting you getting sacked in the morning.
That's right. And then a steward arrived and all that.
Somebody tried to get your leg back over, didn't they?
That was Claire Tomlinson from Sky, who was in the box with me.
It looks like a man who was pulling it back. I just watched the video.
Yeah, but she indicated to this guy, look, you better do that, because the steward had just arrived.
Yes.
But anyway, it was all merriment.
All very good natured.
There was no problem about it
whatsoever. And you were never forced to be suspended or ejected from the stadium?
Not at all. It was never like that. There was no malice or anything like that. It was all very good natured, and funnily enough, I have bonded with the Spurs fans ever since.
Well, I've got a couple of favourite memories of White Hart Lane as well. Would you like to hear mine?
Yes, I would, please.
Well, because one of them goes back to one of the trips actually we made to John Sims's box. Been talking to.
Yes, that's right.
Who sent us a very nice message. Who is a massive Tottenham fan and a very generous host. And when we were leaving, we saw all sorts of cars and players coming out. There was quite a few autograph hunters there.
Yes.
And then this beautiful Range Rover appeared, coming out from behind the players' car park.
Yes.
And rather than everybody sort of stopping and looking in disbelief, the car kind of came out quite quickly.
Yes.
It turned out it wasn't one of the players. It was, in fact, the Tottenham manager at the time.
Yeah,
who
Tim
was,
Sherwood.
of course, Tim Sherwood.
Yes.
And as we were walking away, he rolled his window down and said, "Oi, Porky, how you doing?" And he started shouting at you. And you returned fire with, "Hey, Steve, I'm great.
No, I didn't.
How you doing?" Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. I was there.
No, I didn't.
And that's one of my favourite memories of Tottenham Hotspur.
I didn't.
And of course, is that your phone?
No.
What was it?
I don't know what it was. It was something in the.
It's your phone, isn't
office.
it?
No. Don't worry. Anyway.
I'm not worried.
Look, it's you see, you keep going on about this Steve Sherwood thing.
Yeah.
Steve Sherwood, of course, was the goalkeeper for Watford in the 1984 FA Cup
Well, you've
final.
just explained why sometimes you mix things up. You've just said you were thinking of White Hart Lane and West Ham United. So it's very easy to mix up Steve Sherwood and Tim Sherwood.
Well, okay. So if that's the case, then how come Tim never took offence and I've spoken to him since, and he's never mentioned it. So
because he's probably used to you making those kind of blunders because he's quite friendly to you. So the thing is,
very harsh.
People normally, I mean, I don't take offence when you get things wrong. Why would I?
I went down to White Hart Lane once when I was a kid, about 15 or 16. Boxing Day, and we literally thumbed it down from Chester. You know, it took hours and hours.
Yeah, because I mean that's not a good day to hitchhike. Boxing Day, there's nobody on the road.
Well, there weren't a lot of, and there wasn't. I'm not even sure how much motorway there was in those days. There was, I think there was an M6 and an M1, you know. But we got there, and the game had been called off due to snow.
Oh God!
Yeah, and then we had to get all the way back. So you
hitchhiked in the snow all the way to London.
Yes,
and back.
Yes,
in the day.
Yes.
Blimey.
Yeah, we had to.
Very bad planning.
And what I was going to say is that it is one of those legendary grounds, because you've got to remember, I was very, very young when Spurs were the first double winners this century, followed by winning the FA Cup the following year. And just the word Tottenham Hotspur, you know, Danny Blanchard, Jimmy Greaves, all that kind of stuff, they were then in my head as a little kid what Real Madrid are today.
Sure.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. And I also played in white. My other memory of it is when I was about 11 or 12. I can't remember, it was 71 or 72.
Yeah.
And my dad and took myself and my daughter to a Man United Spurs game at White Hart Lane.
Right.
And Martin Chivers was playing for Spurs.
Yes.
I remember. And at one point he got fouled. And he was lying, and I don't know why I remember this so well, but he was lying on the ground, and had been there for some time. And a guy behind me...
Well, like 20 minutes?
Well, he'd been there for longer than you would have expected, you know.
Right.
And a guy behind me said, "Oi, Chivers, get up, or else we'll have you buried." And for some reason, that always stuck with me.
Really?
This was one of the Spurs fans who was shouting at him.
A bit of sort of Cockney wit,
Bit of Cockney wit, yeah. He actually swore more than that, but I couldn't repeat exactly what he said.
I bet he did.
But it was just one of my many introductions to football.
Funny you should say that, Martin Chivers. I think I've told you this story before, but our millions of listeners may not have heard it. When I was a reporter on the Express, there was some terrible murder in some village somewhere in, I think it was Hertfordshire.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes sense if it's Spurs, because it's sort of north of London.
It's
and, you know, when the pack arrived, like the Fleet Street pack arrived, and we knew we were going to be there 2 or 3 days.
The reptiles of the press.
Yeah, you find a base, and we went to this pub-stroke hotel.
Pub,
yeah.
Well, it's always a pub, isn't it?
The reptiles.
It's always a pub. Well, the reptiles of the press is what we used to call it.
Yeah. And I had a few rooms to book and all that kind of stuff. And we chose an area of the bar which was going to be ours for the next 2 or 3 days, you know, sort of cordon it off and all that kind of stuff. And the proprietor was Martin Chivers. He was running the hotel. And he was ever so helpful. I mean, you know, he didn't have any grudge against any journalist from his days as a footballer. Couldn't do, could you, when you're in England centre forward?
Not really,
but
no.
he was terrifically helpful because he understood the way communications work, and he went out of his way to make everything available to us. He was a terrific guy.
Right.
I stumbled on this photograph. It kind of made me laugh. It took me way back down memory lane. I see the happiness, I see the pain.